Hey everyone, Ryan here at eTrailer. Today on our 2020 Ram 1500 Classic, we're going to be showing you how to install the Blue Ox Trailer Hitch receiver. Before we do that though, since there are quite a few hitches available, why don't we check this one out and make sure it's going to be the right fit for you. So for those of you whose truck didn't come equipped from the factory with the trailer hitch, this is going to be a great solution for kind of that general purpose stuff, right? So medium duty towing, and even using some accessories. I do think the hitch looks pretty good on the back of the Ram. You know, it's a pretty small hitch, and so you're just going to see the receiver tube opening come down here. Has this matte black finish, which seems to hold up pretty well over time and kind of puts off that factory option, right? Almost matches the plastic on the bumper there. There are several of these smaller hitches available. You know, eTrailer makes one, Curt makes one, I believe Draw-Tite. And to be honest with you, they're all pretty similar to each other. No crazy differences as far as that goes. One of the things I did notice with this Blue Ox one though is the safety chain openings, right, where you put your hook through, are kind of partially blocked by our bumper there. So just something to think about. If you have bigger hooks, you might want to pick up some links like this to make them fit. But then again, this bumper is a little dented on the back there, so it could be partly due to that, as opposed to some of them other ones like the eTrailer and the Curt seem to have a little bit bigger openings, but not really a huge deal. Like I said, this could be a great solution for those of you just doing general purpose truck stuff, right? Towing a regular trailer around and things like that. For those of you that plan on pulling heavier equipment or kind of pushing the limits a little bit, there's some other hitches available that have higher capacities, higher ratings, right? So you can always check those out if that's what you plan on doing. But as far as this one goes, it's still got good capacities. You know, the maximum gross tongue weight is going to be 600 pounds. That's the amount of weight pushing down on the hitch. So, you know, pretty much any accessory you want to use, you'll be fine there. It does have a 6,000 pound maximum gross trailer weight rating, which is the amount of weight pulling on the hitch. So that will be the weight of your trailer plus anything that you might have in or on it. This can be used with the weight distribution system, which is a separate component. And what happens when you use that, it's got to keep your truck and your trailer level whenever you're towing it down the road. That's pretty popular on campers, enclosed trailers, things of that nature. So might be worth checking out if that's what you plan on pulling. But if you do use a weight distribution, the capacities do increase a little bit. Tongue weight goes up to 1,000 pounds and trailer weight goes up to 10,000 pounds. Now, with all that said, I do always like to suggest, never a bad idea, just to grab your Ram's owner's manual. That way you can check in there and make sure that your truck can handle that amount of weight safely. The hitch is going to have a 2" by 2" receiver tube opening. It's a super common size, so a lot of stuff will work with it. It is going to use that standard 5/8 pin and clip. Keep in mind, a pin and clip doesn't come with the hitch. If you need one, not a big deal. Get it here at eTrailer. A lot of times too, if you end up buying a new accessory, they'll come with one. Grab a couple measurements now, and these will help you figure out what type of accessories will work best. So if you go from the ground to the top inside edge of the receiver tube opening, taking into account the lift that we're parked on our truck, it's going to be about 22.5 inches. We do have some larger tires or 33-inch tires, but these will kind of give you a reference point to work with. At that height, you know, if you're going to be pulling a trailer, I'd get a ball mount with a drop in the shank, probably that 4-6 inch range. Work well for most setups like this. Might even be worth getting an adjustable ball mount. That way, if you ever do change tire size or something like that, you can really dial in everything and pull your trailer how you want to. As far as the clearance here, we'll go from the center of the hitch pin hole to the edge of the rear bumper. That's only going to be about 2 inches. Pretty good, shouldn't run into any issues here, but if you do ever happen to use a fold-up type accessory, you can use that to help figure out exactly if you can store it upright and not run into any clearance issues. when it comes down to it, hitch you really can't go wrong with. You know, it looks good, get the job done in most situations. As far as the installation goes, it's really straightforward. More or less, you just lift it up and bolt it right into place. It's almost one of those deals where it takes longer to kind of get all your tools out and get everything set up than it does to actually get the hitch put on. With that said though, you know, there's a big bolt up top here that's going to require a 1/2-inch size hex head or Allen key. So I know a lot of people probably want to have something this size, so if you are going to do it yourself, make sure you pick that up. And the hitch does require some pretty high torque settings as well, so make sure you have a torque wrench capable of that type of thing. If you don't, and you'd rather have a shop do it, you know, you can always use our dealer locator network, and that can help you find a shop close to you that can do this for you. But if you're going to give it a go, hang around, we'll go ahead and get started on it now. To begin your installation, you'll be here at the back of your Ram, and first thing you want to do, usually right here in this area, there's a little plastic cap, right? Ours is missing. The owner of this truck had a ball in here already, right on his bumper. But if your plastic cap's there, go ahead, take a little flathead screwdriver or something and pop that out of place. Moving underneath the truck, just to give us a little bit more room to work, I did lower and remove our spare tire. Once the trailer hitch is in place and everything, we will put this back up. Now we can grab our hitch, and it's going to come with this big bolt here. It's a hex head bolt. This is going to go down through the bumper where that cap was originally at and bolt into the hitch. And a lot of times what can happen, you know, when they powder coat these, some powder coating get in here in the threads, make it kind of hard to start. So I like to just make sure that the bolt actually runs through there smoothly. That way it'll remove any of that powder coating that might be in there and prevent you from getting this started easily. This bolt is going to require a 1/2-inch hex head, so pretty big Allen key. So make sure you have one of these to be able to tighten this down and everything. So our threads are good to go, and we can get this up on the truck. We'll take our hitch and line that up. So it'll just sit up there like that, right? And then you want to come up top here. Make sure that hole lines up. Take that big bolt. And we'll just get this started hand tight. Back underneath, if you look at the back side of the hitch, we're going to have a hole just like this on each side of it. And what you want to do is take the pull wire that they give you, the coiled end, we'll push it through here and towards the side of the truck where it'll come out. And then you just want to grab a spacer block. You'll put that over the end of the fish wire and a carriage bolt. That carriage bolt will thread onto the coiled end. Then you can just feed the hardware into this tube one at a time. We'll just pull this. So we get it to pass through. And while we're doing that, you can remove the pull wire. And just a quick tip as well. A lot of times that bolt will want to fall back into this tube when you're removing this pull wire, so you can take a flathead screwdriver and just apply a little bit of pressure to it while you're unthreading this. And while you're holding that in place, take a flange nut. Get that started hand tight, and then I'm going to do that same exact thing with the same exact hardware combination for this opening right here. With this hardware in place, we can come back with a 3/4 inch socket and snug it down. We can come back up top here, and with our 1/2 inch Allen key, we'll go ahead and get this bolt snug down too. You want to make sure and come back with a torque wrench now and completely tighten down all the hardware to the amount specified in the instructions. Once the hitch is all torqued, you can put that plastic cap back in place if you have it, and get the spare tire raised back into position. With that all wrapped up, that'll finish up our look at and our installation of the Blue Ox Trailer Hitch receiver on our 2020 Ram 1500 Classic.